Hi, I'm Jim Bearden, and this is Leadership at the Points of Contact, a series of 5 to 6 minute videos designed to help you function more effectively as an organizational leader. In this section of the program, we're looking at one of the key roles that leaders play, and that role is to consciously create cultures that reinforce and support behavior essential to organizational success. In the previous lesson, we took a quick look at culture, what it is, the types of cultures that you find in most organizations, and the levels of culture. In this program, I want to take a close look at a specific type of culture that I'll encourage you to create. I call it hero-friendly, and we'll talk more about the elements of that later in this lesson. But to create a hero-friendly culture is, to me, a worthwhile endeavor for people in leadership positions. Now, let's start with some basic premises or some truths, and you can tell me if you think these apply. First of all, most people want to make a difference. And what I mean by that is most people want to be contributing members of successful organizations or winning teams. Most people want to make heroic choices. But the third premise is equally true. Unfortunately, most don't. While some people in the typical organization will step up, most step back. While some members of organizational staffs will look for ways to deal effectively with challenges and setbacks, others are content to do what I call hunker and hope. Statistics indicate that employee engagement in most organizations is extremely low. So we're starting with some truths that people want to make a difference. The question is, why don't more of them? And as I see it, there are 3 basic explanations, all of which you can address as a leader. First, nobody has asked them to become more engaged. Nobody has asked them or encouraged them to make heroic choices. 2, they may be reluctant or even unwilling to do so because they believe it's unsafe. And 3, they are content to sit back and do nothing because while someone may have encouraged them to step up, nobody explained to them exactly what's expected. I want you to file that away because we're going to come back to that in great detail in a later lesson. So let's look at what sort of behaviors that I associate with this hero-friendly culture. There are basically 4 of them. In a hero-friendly culture, you're going to have employees who are able and willing to step up. And by step up, what I mean is when they're invited to participate in collaborative process, they'll accept the invitation and do so. What it means is employees will be more willing to pay close attention to the processes they're using and to the efficacy, how well those processes are working. And finally, they'll be willing to look for and offer suggestions for how those processes could be improved. They'll step up. That's the first behavior. The second behavior I associate with this sort of culture, the second heroic sort of behavior, would be people who are willing to speak up. And by that, what I mean is I want people on my staff who will tell me what they think, not what they think I want to hear. I want people on my staff who will respectfully challenge the status quo, even if the status quo they're challenging happens to be a process or a policy that I implemented. So they'll speak up. Third, heroic behavior includes a willingness to listen up. Now think about this for a minute. When we invite people to the table, for example, to participate in a collaborative process, one of the things we expect them to do is come to the table and speak up, right? But can you see how listening up would be equally, if not more, important? I want people on my staff who will listen for the purpose of understanding, not rebutting. And I want people on my staff who recognize that understanding is not the same as agreeing with. So the third type of heroic behavior is listen up, and the fourth type is to take reasonable risks. And examples that apply to the first 3 types of behavior. I want people who will risk offering their opinion. What's the risk? That people would disagree. I want people who are willing to risk trying new things. What's the risk? that they're going to make mistakes. The 4 types of behavior I associate then with a hero-friendly culture. People who will step up, people who will speak up, people who will listen up, and finally, people who will take reasonable risks. Here are your action items for lesson number 2. I want you to describe one type of behavior that you would like to see from more of your employees. What's something you'd like to see more of them do? And 2, what are some of the things you and other members of your leadership team have done to encourage that behavior? Remember, completing the action items is a step that you can take to bring the things we've talked about in each of these lessons to life, to maximize the learning opportunity. And I encourage you to do just that.